Well, I was almost done my run, but then I saw Pikachu with the scuba suit. So I'm running another extra kilometer. So what I do for cardio in the summer is I go and I run like 5 to 7 kilometers and I come back and then I do 15 minutes on the air bike. What I typically do is close the door to the basement so the cats can't come down for the air bike, but I left it open today and Felix came down and he doesn't like loud sounds, so he saw me like on the air bike and he's like, this is the scariest thing I've seen in my whole life. It's pretty funny. Now I'm out for a rollerblade and then I'm heading to Wanuskewin today. Oh, I forgot my hat. My hair is gonna look ridiculous, but I'm okay with it. Finally, I made it out here to Wanuskewin. I haven't been here since I was like 7 years old. And so far, it looks like nothing's changed. Curious what they've got here. And it's Pokemon Community Day, so this is gonna be good. This is a quilt of tombstones for all the missing children. Beautiful, but sad. Okay, inside was like really busy, so I'm gonna start with the bison walks. There's some pretty cool statues here. I'm gonna have to check this out here. See some cool bison here. This guy looks like a superhero. So cool. So we've hiked down this long trail here to this viewing spot. Hopefully we see some bison. There's the bison. Kind of a cool little viewing platform here. When I was in Banff, they had like a interpreter talking about the bison reintroduction into Banff, and they were talking about how it was changing like the grassland ecosystem because the bison would eat these various plants and then they would migrate and then poop all the seeds in another area, and it was changing all the kind of forestry around there. It's kind of interesting. So I guess there used to be 25 million bison here, which would be terrifying. So on the way to the bison, they have these like metal bisons standing in the field, straight out of the Silent Hill styles. Terrifying to see at night. Pretty cool. And there's the Wanuskewin Center. Back to my ongoing series about how Saskatchewan is so beautiful. A big kind of movement within Saskatchewan right now is the reclamation of Indigenous grassland and the biodiversity within it. So as you look at this, it's like grass. But then if you look really close, it's like flower, maybe a tree, some other grass, a different kind of grass. It's like its own biome in there. You know what, gonna be real, I forgot to wear my hat, and initially I hated my hair, but I'm kind of vibing with it. I'll roll with this. All right, we left the bison platform. Now we're just gonna walk some of these trails around here, see what they got going on. All right, so we're trying to go down this trail, and then we're gonna go up that stairs, and we're trying to find that lookout. It's kind of unclear how the trail works here, so this is my best guess. You know how like the amusement parks, they have those things where you can punch it, and it talks about how hard you can punch? They should have one of those, but it's like an RKO machine, and you can see how hard you can RKO it. Bridge. We're at the bridge. Time to look at some ducks. A duck. So cool. We found the stairs. Alright, we climbed to the top of the stairs. And it looks like we're closing in on a nice view over here. Ah, the view. The view. We found this, the cool lookout. We got up here. The view. So that's where we walked from over there. Kind of a cool little walk through the valley. And then all the way up here to this cool viewpoint. I always think it's interesting when you go and see kind of places like this, like these indigenous places, because then you can imagine like if there's no buildings over there and there was no buildings over there and there was no smoke, like, and you just climbed up here and looked around and saw all the stuff you could see. You'd probably see a bunch of bison, stuff to hunt, berries, other people. It'd be so cool. So there's a guy we bumped into, and he's kind of like giving a tour to his friends. Best tour guide ever. He was like super vulgar. He's like, there's a bunch of glaciers over here, just crushing shit all over the place, just like spanking all the vegetation. And I think that guy should get hired to give the tours. Here's a bison rubbing stone where the bison would rub up against it. I might have to try my luck at being a bison. Here we go again. But the view! Kind of a beautiful little path over here too. So this area here in the valley, kind of by the river, was where they camped in the winter because it would keep them out of the wind and they could grab water and just chill out. So this is the boat launch here where they would launch their canoes. So this, like, the rivers were the old school highways because you could travel really fast by like kayaking or canoeing, and then you could go visit the other villages and trade and marry and things like that. So that's kind of neat. Little old school highways. Everywhere I go, I see your face. Hilarious. We're out for a walk. There's this place here. I rollerbladed here this morning with these stores. So now we're finally learning what they are. Mostly barbers. Rats for 2024, that's for sure. It is our 3rd anniversary in a weekish, few days. The question to ask here is, if it was a Turing test and you had to figure out that it was me instead of a robot via text, what would you ask?
Be like, what's my favorite Pokemon?
That's funny. That would work too. So I shot this video at the climbing gym, but the GoPro sometimes like it won't connect and have audio. So I'll say it on here. But there was this traverse there and I couldn't figure out how to do it. So I videoed myself trying and I posted it to Reddit and I was like, how do I climb this thing? The very first comment is, step number 1, get new shoes, you idiot. I was like, oh my gosh. It was the most Reddit thing ever. And then I went back and climbed it like 2 days later. And so that guy was wrong. I didn't need new shoes. But it was pretty funny. Today, went to Wanuskewin. I don't know if I'll go back. It's kind of like, there's some cool trails out there, but there's cool trails everywhere. So, I don't know. It was alright though. Played some Halo. Got some groceries. Pokemon Community Day. Caught 4 shiny Beldums. It's pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, went for a walk with Aaron in the park. We went over to that kind of area by the by that one park. I can't remember the name of the park, but it's kind of cool. They got a little convenience store there with all these American pops, so you can go get like peach Pepsi and stuff. So that's kind of neat. Overall, a fun and busy day.